Good noon, everyone. Hope you all are safe and well. I, Ritika Vatwani, a business development executive at the Business Spectra, welcome you all on a webinar on brand building during COVID-19. Today, we are here with Ms. Shreya Upadhyay, who is a digital marketing and PR domain specialist from Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. So, Ms. Shreya, I would like you to brief about your background first.
Sure. So I did my master's in public relations and advertising from Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi, and I have worked with Ogilvy for the 2019 BJP election campaign. Before that, I've also worked for Macmillan Education. I have worked for niche like fashion, social work, educational institutes, and music. So far, my experience in digital marketing and PR has been quite vivid. So the reason why I started with digital marketing is because since I told you that my specialization is into advertising, I realized that digital marketing is something which is going to be the need of the hour, and traditional advertising, though being very strong, is going to take a setback in the coming years. And right now, during the pandemic, I personally feel digital marketing is something which is going to create a havoc in the entire industry. No single industry right now cannot function without being digitally active, and hence right now, if we today in this topic, when we are going to talk about brand building, it's essentially important how brand building and digital marketing are going to be correlative concepts in the coming years. So yeah.
So, according to you, what is brand building?
So when I talk about brand building, actually there is no specific definition for brand building, but I can say what customers think about you, what they speak for you, and what they feel about your products and services and whatever you're offering is what exactly that resonates your brand. So when I'm talking about brand building, I have to be very clear about the physique of my brand, the culture of my brand, the relationship of my brand with my customers, the reflection, the self-image, the personality, and the culture. So when I'm talking about all these aspects, they all together frame a brand prism. So when we are talking about building up a brand identity cannot be built without all these important aspects that I've just mentioned. When, for example, I'll take an example of Nike. So when I'm talking about Nike, the brand essence of that particular brand is that it is athletic, it's very sporty, and it lets you, it pumps you up. Whenever you're going to look at any advertisement, or whenever you're going to look at any brand tone of that specific brand called Nike, you'll always feel that it's giving me a sense of pump. It's giving me a sense of athleisure, and the physique of that brand can be judged as per the logo, the tagline, the entire flagship stores that they have, the kind of products that they are making, the colors that they're using, and also how they're interacting with their customers right now in the digital era is also something which is going to come in the physique and the personality of the brand. Now when I'm talking about the culture, the reflection, the relationship, the personality, we can say that we as customers, what we feel after buying the product of Nike, that is going to specify what exactly comes under these specific points. So when we are talking about brand building, I think it's very important to understand that whatever the customers or the audience is talking about you is your real identity. No matter how much you try to have a brand personality of your own, but what reflection your audience is giving you, it has a a big and a major role to play. So suppose if I say that I have to generate awareness for my brand. Suppose my brand is anything that is providing a, I would say, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, you can continue.
Yeah, okay. So when I'm talking about brand building, I would say it's about generating awareness. It's about having and establishing a rationale, an image about your brand. Suppose if I talk about Amul, so Amul, the taste of India, it's something that they have fixed in the mind of audience that this is something that all the Indian people are supposed to consume, irrespective of the fact that okay. So I'll tell you one thing about Amul, that even not only Amul, but most of the brands that are giving us packaged milk, they're giving us the milk that they're providing is of A1 cows. So what are A1 cows? They are not the Indian cows, they are the foreign cows from which they extract the milk. But the branding says it's the taste of India, it's the milk for India. Hence, everybody believes that this is something which is, it's produced in India, it's worked for India, and it's a total conglomeration of something that Amul is working for. So I think when I talk about brand building, and the reason why I'm very strongly talking about brands like Nike, Amul, even Maggie for that matter, is because these brands have very specifically made out their name in terms of brand building. They have been very consistent yet very agile in terms of adapting to the new culture and coming out with new advertisements, with new campaigns that stick to their brand identity and also talk about the current scenarios.
That was great to hear about Amul. So I just want to ask that what are the problems that the new entrepreneurs are facing during this COVID-19 pandemic for their brand building?
Yes. So basically, at this point of time, when we're talking about small entrepreneurs, the thing is that the kind of messaging that the small entrepreneurs, and I would say the small businesses, have been giving so far about their brand is that they are there for their customers. The social media outlook, for all these brands have been very limited. So far, I've observed that mostly all the small entrepreneurs, they do not obviously have a very great budget because of the limited budget constraints. But it's important to see that you can utilize social media platforms in the best ways possible, right? Digital marketing as a platform is something where all small to big entrepreneurs can hit a dart and lead their time. But the biggest problem that I've seen with small entrepreneurs before COVID-19 as well is that their social media presence is a big hindrance. They are not able to reach out to their audience and their potential customers on social media as well as different digital marketing platforms. When I talk about establishing a relationship in COVID-19 and the problems that the small businesses are, I would say, having these days, I would say there is a small example that I can give. In the old channel of communication, people used to, and brands used to give message. Used to talk about the look and feel. They used to talk about the touch points and what the audience want. However, in the new channel of communication that should be a part of each and every brand's brand building criteria after COVID-19 and during COVID-19 is that they have the entire tone of the brand has to be very conversational. It has to be very dynamic. It Now you do not have to deliver the look and feel of the product or the services, but now it's more important to get into the experience. What experience your brand is able to give your customer is what is going to be the driving force for your future and for your brand to establish in the competitors world. Now engagement and community building is also something that the small entrepreneurs and the small businesses have not been able to tap so far, and this is solely because of the lack of digital presence. Because when we are talking about, obviously everybody knows that in COVID-19 right now everything has been socially distanced. You cannot move out of your house, you cannot move people, sorry, you cannot meet people. And considering that point, it's very understandable that your community building projects are on hold. So suppose if your community building projects were based on having meetings, having events, everything has come on hold, and now you have to take a shift towards the digital webinars like one we are having right now, and maybe live chats, and about there are various platforms through which you can build a community. And personally, I feel when you're talking about brand building, having a very strong social media presence is very important. Now, what all social media channels can be utilized for a community building or an engagement building platform? The kind of generation that we are coming from, half of our time is going on Instagram, and also the professionals are very active on LinkedIn. And with the coming of this era, TikTok is also something which has taken away the entire drive. So these are the channels, no matter how useless it may sound to you, but actually TikTok is one of those platforms which is gaining a lot of marketing promotions. Right now, all the brands are driving towards TikTok because they can see the audience retention for those 15 seconds is very strong on that platform. So people and brands, they want to tap that opportunity and want to gain it in their own favor. So when I talk about engagement and community building, it's so important to understand that a platform like Instagram can be used in two ways. Either you are creating your profile and just leaving it for people to just, have a look of what you provide and then go away, or you can use it for engagement purpose, where every day you are making your audience interact with you in some way or the other. Now, for interaction, it is not important that you're coming up with ideas. You are not, if you do not have a giveaway to give, then don't. But you can definitely have some live sessions, you can have some quizzes, you can have some contests, you can have some important messages and trivia sessions to go ahead with. Just one single idea to understand how you can engage your audience can make your brand stand in the longer term. Now, how are we supposed to understand and how are we supposed to build our strategies on the basis of audience engagement? We do not know what audience is reacting to, right? For that, it's very important to understand the audience behavior. For example, a very fresh example it is, and I am pretty much the reason why I'm talking about and I'm taking this example right now is because it's a very hot and trending topic, and it has taken up the entire social media right now, and that's the demise of Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput. After his demise, you can see how all over the internet the effect of mental health awareness has come over, and each and every brand has started talking about how mental health is important, irrespective of the fact that their brand and their products and their services nowhere are related to the mental health service. But they want to tell their customers, their audience, their potential consumers that you matter to us, and that each and every step that you are taking in your life is something that we can help you with. So that idea of being, a guiding force, not just a brand that is selling you something, but being a guiding force in your life, how you are marketing your products, not just that you are selling them, not just that you are telling them that our product is one of the best in the market, you are telling them that right now we hope that you are safe, we hope that you are maintaining your social distance, we hope that everything is working in your favor, you are able to pass through the time. All these things are important. Now, if I talk about LinkedIn, suppose I've seen so many small entrepreneurs taking up this idea, like Mr. Sam Besla. He is right now with his a company called Brand Samosa. He's taking up the entire LinkedIn platform with providing job opportunities to all those people who have been left jobless right now. So this is not something which is actually, I'm not sure if he's promising jobs to everybody, because sadly this is not something that obviously nobody can do. But the idea of helping people in this tough time is something which is going to be the biggest, I would say, advantage for his brand and for his own individual identity. And right now, creating that image in front of professionals is going to help him a lot whenever he's going to have, his next investment pitch, whenever he's going to whenever he's going to start with his new campaign. Everything is going to work in his favor because the audience likes him now, because his entire audience knows that he is somebody who's going to help them, and he's not someone who's going to just promote his own brand. So I think right now the problem with entrepreneurs is also that they are not in the habit of being a one man army. So what I mean with that is that having a less budget, I mean, of course, you when you start a startup, you are not, so handy with the budget, and hence marketing budget is always something which is cut out at the first point whenever there is any budget crunch. So when you are a small business and you know that in this tough time you may or may not be able to even pay your employees in the best way possible, you may or may not be able to support them in the best way possible. And suppose if I have a business and I am a team of 5 people with each of them looking into one specific area. Now, if I am hit with the business crisis and I am not able to, I would say, retain my employees with me, and for sad reasons I am not able to continue with them, I am the only person to take my business ahead, right? Now, my point is, either I can get my business down and all those years that I've invested in it is going to finally crash down, or I can be a one-man army and start having my hands on to everything. This is the time when small entrepreneurs, small businesses, and in fact, all individuals are supposed to refine their skills. If I am from digital marketing, my only idea should not be about hovering around digital marketing. I can tap myself into everything that is related to digital marketing. And building new skills is going to be something which is going to be helpful for each and every individual. Why? Because in the coming times, you may or may not have a full-time job, but your freelance opportunities are going to get faster now. Whatever you're going to be called for is for your skills and not for how much educated you are or for how much work experience you have. If you have the right skills, if you can deliver the right time, the right thing at the right time, it's going to help you a lot. And this is the reason why even the freelancers can have the opportunity to become the small entrepreneurs and beat them in their own competition.
That was great to hear that engaging with client is one of the most important thing for a brand. So like what are some tips and tricks that you want to give the coming entrepreneurs and the small business, like how they'll overcome these problems to grow their brand?
So the first thing that I can tell to all the small businesses is that people are paying attention to how brands are responding and how they are acting to the social and political stance right now. People right now, no matter if they are in, a part of your audience, no matter if they are part of your potential customers, but right now it's a word of mouth that is spreading everywhere, and hence whatever stance that you're going to take socially and politically is going to be there and people are going to talk about you. So suppose if I take once again I'm going to take the example of Amul. They are having this beautiful campaign running from years, where this small icon of Amul, that small little girl which is present on all the branding of Amul, is still that same advertisement campaign comes up every time whenever there is one social or political stance that Amul has to talk about. Recently, campaigns, they got a backlash from Twitter and from certain social media handles, but the audience attention was amazing. They were able to relate to it and they were hooking up to the fact that Amul is something which is taking favor for India, right? So right now, the most important thing and the most important tip for all brands is to pay attention to each and every detail of how your audience is reacting. What are the things that they're liking? What are the things that they're not liking? And everything that the audience wants to hear from you, you have to be fast enough to react on it. Don't be sluggish in your idea. You have to be very agile now. Maybe right now at 12 o'clock in the night, some news is going to come which is going to bombard this entire social media with something that this has happened, this is not right, this is not doing. And if at that point of time your brand comes in between and be the Hercules that yes, we support your cause, we are going to help all these people in any way possible, you can just dial us up, we are going to be the mediator. Sonu Sood did that. Sonu Sood has built himself as a brand right now. In spite of not being a business, his own individual identity has become a brand for people because he hit the dart at the right time. When the media was complaining that government is not doing anything for the laborers, this man came up with his idea along with his team, delivered the work at the right time, and now he's the messiah for everybody. So this is how branding works, and this is how, no matter if you're a business or if you're not, but hitting the right dart at the right time costs you, I think, a lot of favors and costs you a lot of virtues for future. The second point that I would say is that your customer care has to be very smart and very quick. What do I mean by that is that right now most of the brands, they were having an external KPO through which they were managing their customer care support. Right now, I don't think if people are requiring those calls, and maybe due to employee crunch, I don't think a lot of people are even available on the customer care support stance. However, if your social media platforms are active in responding to the queries, let it be comments, let it be a personal message, it's going to be very helpful. Why? Because at this point of time, your customer care support, if it is delivering the right kind of answers to the audience that they're asking for, that is going to be a positive stance for the brands. Now, I can say another point and another tip would be to track and report your analytics. A lot of brands, they just get into social media without even thinking why they are doing it. They are very staunch with their entire and overall strategy. They know what exactly they have to do, but they do not track it. And tracking it on an, I would say, a weekly basis is also very important now, because every week there is some news or the other that is coming. So if you had a habit of, if businesses had a habit of, analyzing their entire reports after a month or 2 months or 3 months. Don't do that. Do it weekly because it's very important. Whatever you are doing, maybe in first week, if your brand is able to capture a lot of engagement due to one stance that you have taken on social cause, maybe the next week it's not going to work for you anymore. So you have to come up with something new. And if you see these days, each and every brand is able to start with something, I would say, suppose if you are that one person who is interested, suppose if my audience, if I am deliver sanitary napkins, and if my audience is all women, and in fact men who are, they are conscious buyers, and they would love to have their I would say they would love to buy products for their women if they are, in need for it. But at that point of time, if on World Menstrual Hygiene Day, or if on Menstruation Day, or if at any point of time, if my brand comes up with a project that helps women, my brand will stand out. Why? Because I have been able to tap to my audience and make them feel happy at this point of time. So the idea of tricking your audience brain, and analyzing what's working for me and what's not is important.
Okay, so coming to the conclusion, I would like to ask you like how you are coming up with your brand and your background. So like also I would like the audience to put up their questions, and sure you can answer them. So yeah, you all can come up with questions.
So till the time the audience, if somebody wants to ask me a question, you guys are most welcome. But since you have been asking me about my own brand, so it's something which I even started during it's something that I started during the lockdown period only. I would tell you, so lifestyle positivity, motivation, personal growth, and social awareness is something that I have been working with in bits and pieces for like most of the time of my life. However, I never thought that I'm going to build it up as a brand someday, but and I was waiting for the right opportunity, and I never knew when it's going to come to me. But I knew that I'm not just going to start over it because I want to be an influencer or a blogger, and one day I'll just go on Instagram, start posting my pictures, and I will hope that some people will like me and I'll be an influencer. That does not happen like that. You have to um, you know be very conscious about the timing. So COVID-19 was the right time for me to hit the dart and hit the bullseye, when I knew that people are sad, people are frustrated, including me. I was not also in that position where I could hold myself. Knowing that fact, I knew that lifestyle positivity is important in everybody's life, and that's when I started my pitch. So the quality content is something which has to be there all the time, along with hitting bullseye at the right time. So if you're doing anything at the right place at the right time with the right audience and in the right content and context, things will work in your favor always. It might take time because of course people on social media are preferring cringe content these days. However, if you're delivering your quality content, your quality audience will take time to reach out to you, but they will. So I think we have received one question.
Yeah, I was about to say that. So here is a question. Uh, Says, as we all know about the current situation of Indo-China relationship, what should
Hmm.
Chinese brand do right now to build their brand image in India?
Hmm. That's one of the most trickiest question, I should say. Nice question, Shivam. So, well, to be honest, at this point of time, it's something that I can relate to. Do you know the Johnson and Johnson case that happened in 1982, the Tylenol drug incident? So at that point of time, the entire world was taken aback with the point and hope of how a brand like Johnson and Johnson can do such a big massacre where so many babies were killed. At that point of time, the only brand communication the brand did was that they came out and they said that we are sorry. It's something that we did, it's our mistake, and that was the only thing they needed to have the audience back on track on with them. So, what all the brands that are functioning in India right now, it's, I would say, the most difficult point. Point for existence at this moment and to grow. Why? Because people want to boycott Chinese product, and I am also among them who want to boycott them. Why? Because I want to support my local artisans, my local businesses, and my local um, craftsman. However, if I was someone who has to maintain the reputation of a Chinese brand, I would say that you come out as somebody, in spite of being a Chinese brand, you support the Indian audience. You support what Indian audience is talking about, and you come out as somebody that we are sorry for what our nation is doing, but we support you because you are what is important to us. So if you are going to take the audience in your favor, that's going to work in your favor. So I would say for any Chinese brand right now, first of all, expecting that your growth is going to hype up, it's not. You got to work a lot on your brand. You got to work a lot on your brand reputation. And brand reputation will only come with this one point where you are very active in engaging your audience and telling them that we care. You do not need to tell them, you do not have to be defensive, you just have to address that we care and it's our mistake and we are sorry. As many brands, I think I'm going to take the next question.
Yeah.
Are now coming on digital platform, what according to you will be the point of distinction or success mantra for a brand? 64% consumers worldwide will make purchase based on brand social and political stance. This is an actual quote from one of the leaders in brand marketing. The consumers are looking for a brand that are genuine, authentic, and have a good story. This is a line that I'm quoting from the same content that I have read. And this is the same answer that is going to help for anybody who wants to an answer to this question. Your social channels are an extension of your brand values. Brand strategy must involve social listening. Your brand, your industry, your competitors, whatever they are talking about is what you are supposed to exhibit. So right now for any brand to stand out, how many, I would just ask you, Ritika, have you seen amazing advertisements of Durex on social media?
Yeah, I have gone through that. I already, and I don't know. Social samosas also from that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So mad over marketing, social samosa, brand samosa, all are after Durex. I mean, Durex is everywhere. For a brand that is selling condoms, do you really think it's so easy to just get the entire wave in your favor and work as if like everything is working in their favor right now? Also, when people are socially distanced, a brand that sells condom is working amazing. How is that even possible? It's because they're doing moment marketing, they're doing meme marketing, and they know exactly how to put their product into everything that's right now going in the mind of the audience. So to make your brand stand out, your copy, your graphic have to be very minimalistic. People are done looking at stuff that is very heavy. People do not want to have heavy content. People do not want to consume serious content. People want to have a light marketing, funny marketing, and something that cracks them up. So Durex is something. Durex is that one brand that is taking over the internet, and it will continue to do so till the time they have that expert team which is sitting with them. And trust me, if a brand like Durex can come up and do it, because you know they have to understand the product. It's a condom. They're selling a condom, and for that they have literally just taken all the audience and everybody loves about them right now in a webinar. If I am discussing that is because if you're talking about any brand can succeed. A fashion brand, a lifestyle brand, a cooking brand, any XYZ brand, even a service brand like Uber can succeed if they're doing moment marketing. So moment marketing is the need of the hour, and that can help us grow.
I think that was a very nice example of condom, and I think people have now got the answers to their questions, like how they'll be building their brands during this period, and all sorts of things. So thank you, Shreya. That was
Thank
a
you so
great
much.
session with you. Business Spectra is highly grateful to you, and
Thank you so much. It was my
yeah,
honor.
yeah. Thank you everyone for attending the session, and thank you all.
That's so sweet of you, Ritika. Thank
I
you for
think we
hosting me. I hope you have a great time. And for everybody who was there in the session, thank you so much for joining me, guys. And I hope I was able to make it worth your attention and worth your time. And if you want to have any sort of conversation with me, suppose if you have any query regarding your brand building concept, you can definitely reach out to me at on my Instagram handle at she is Shriya, and I'll be able to answer them all the queries there. So I'm more than happy to serve all you people with all the questions. Thank you so much.
thank you, Shreya.
Thank you.
That was great time with you.